King's Duty.
A King's Duty. I should have cut that out. Now he's gonna put that at the beginning of the episode like a jerk. Hi there. Welcome back to the North Remembers. I'm Nick, this is Dee, and this is a discussion on House of the Dragon. So episode 2 came out, and they finally showed us their intro. I dug it, the new intro with the same music. They used the same bitch of music, but like...
Well, the same music as the original.
Yeah, as the original show.
But yeah, the bloody through.
It looked like, some of them looked like crowns, like regular crowns we put together, and then another was like a crown with a sword through it. Then like the one at the end looked like a Celtic symbol, which I thought was like a sigil, so I can't tell exactly. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of other videos that you should not be watching. You should be watching ours instead. That probably, took hours upon hours. But we have real jobs.
And we have sustenance and passion.
Yeah. Ours is off our just belief. We're not gonna like scour the lore.
Yeah.
We ain't got all that. We got, like I said, we got real jobs.
But they did start
now.
across the sea.
Yeah, and across
the sea. I
the,
thought that was cool.
with the crab torture. Yeah, right after that, and that was brutal. Like the fucking crucifixion, fucking spikes.
Which, as you find out later, is basically the only violence you get in the whole episode.
Yeah, but still. But still, yeah, that was pretty cool. And then the crab slowly eating them, like alive. It's brutal. And that was supposedly Lord Corellis' men. It was the last ship that got busted. So 6 months has passed since the Queen has died, and
the first time.
And since she's been named, Princess Rhaenyra has been named the heir, but she's still serving drinks and like trying to like give advice.
I thought that was weird.
And she was like giving advice about the dragon. Like, you have dragon riders. Why not use us? And like they were like, whoa,
she's a badass bitch.
Well, no, some of them
Well,
were.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, she's awesome, by the way. Yeah, she is awesome. But they were thinking like Corellis was like, that's awesome. But everybody else was like, whoa, okay, we get it. You're gonna be queen, but like, we're just getting used to this whole idea of like women talking in general. So like giving opinions is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
We're not even ready.
We figure we have a long time to
Yeah.
deal with you being on the throne. So
Yeah. Hopefully your dad has a son and we
Make
don't have to worry about all that.
make your way up to it.
You're just a contingency plan.
Right. She's right though. You see it later on.
Oh yeah. And then the Kingsguard tryouts.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so they had a bunch of different houses they talked about, and they were like poachers and fucking, or killing poachers and like guarding orchards and shit. And she wanted a
Tournaments.
Yeah, and tourneys. Yeah, right. And they said that makes sense because you got lots of, it's a peacetime king. He's
It was
peace.
referenced in the first episode. The Queen says it.
Yeah, that there was peace with the first king.
The Queen never was said
Yeah. There was peace long before he was king, Viserys was king, and then there's been peace for the last 10 years since he has been king. So, all the knights you're gonna get are gonna be fucking pansies.
Yeah.
And she wanted a real one, and he says he fought off Dornish incursions. So is he Dornish, or he fought off Dornish incursions?
What's her face says he's Dornish. The Allison says that
okay.
in the first episode.
And then he just he gets named king. So you said though that spoiler alert.
He's a steward's son.
Yeah, he's a steward's son from some random place.
I know he. I
have
know he
it
got put in
written
the
down
Kingsguard. I don't think he got any higher than that. But that
Oh.
we just saw that happen.
Yeah, but he does get to the Kingsguard, and
Yeah.
but he's an important person, obviously.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna play.
Well, he is.
I never read the book. I just saw some family trees, and
Yeah.
you know, obviously I'm gonna get some spoilers because there's a book on like social media and stuff.
Yeah.
That you're seeing like
I feel
certain
like.
tags and shit.
Side note, I feel like you pump out like these middle books. Is that because like HBO gives him the money to start making Game of Thrones? So he's like, okay, I gotta stall
Did he make the
finishing
book
that.
after they already were making the show?
Well, no, I mean like the reason why he still hasn't finished like Winds of Winter, right? But he came out with Fire and Blood in between. It's like, okay, I have the material to finish this book, but I need to stretch it out because HBO's still doing the show. So I'll release a Targaryen book real quick.
Well, the thing is,
A filler, so to speak.
So the thing is like, so now you have like George Lucas style, like he goes back and makes the kind of prequel to what everybody's excited about,
Yeah.
and then you can work on.
And it's a little comforting because you do kind of know how it, at least you might not know what the end is, but you do know that what the you know what the end is, but you don't know the road there. I should say, like you know that well obviously here in 200 years when Game of Thrones starts, all these motherfuckers are dead, and the Targaryens ain't running the show anymore.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how all that bad shit happens. Anyway, back to the show.
Not to be nervous, Order 66 shit.
Yeah, but back to the show. Speaking of Alicent, the king and her courtship, I think it was
Tastefully done.
it's as tasteful as you're gonna get, like a 15, 16-year-old girl being
Well,
courted by a fucking 45. I want to say he's probably in his early 40s, maybe, because if he was king, he's only been king for 10 years. I don't know. He doesn't seem that old, but the actor does. But I mean,
the Queen and Never was both were pretty old. They were just descendants of the king. Who
Yeah.
was like, we need a council.
yeah, because his son had died and shit. Okay, so yeah, their courtship seems really actually kind of genuine. That they're just kind of.
Well,
I mean, her dad's pushing it, obviously.
I want to keep bringing up. This is the first time jump. Like we're gonna see more problems.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like we had our between the first and second was 6 months.
Oh, they're gonna jump way hard now with what we're about to talk about here in a few minutes that they reveal throughout just this episode. But yeah, I think it's kind of cute because like she's comforting him and he's almost getting like a way to talk to a girl who lost her mother, but not his own daughter because his own daughter just fucking stresses him out.
Yeah, but she's also like probably being forced.
Oh yeah, at first, clearly she didn't want.
I bet she likes the idea of being queen though.
I think that like he mentions to her during their little talk, like you don't talk to her about our talks, and she looks all nervous. At first I thought it was maybe because she was like, oh, I feel bad that I'm lying to her, but now I think it's also because she's like, well, I'm like doing what she wants to do. I'm the one helping her father through this talk. Her dad is talking to me about all this sad stuff and not her for the last 6 months. She's not gonna like it.
Yeah.
But then like the dragon breaks and then later on, we'll talk about it, but she like gets it repaired specific, like that's like genuinely decent. Like I know her dad's pushing her into it at first, but it seems like she's starting to like, whoa, he's not just a greasy old man that's gonna try to like get with me right off the bat. He's actually like talking to me, listening to me.
Yeah,
they're crushing on each
good.
other.
She's good.
They're crushing on each other a little bit. And she's like, oh, okay, this isn't what I imagined. I thought like my dad was sending me to his chambers and it was all gonna be like straight up sex. And it's actually like nice and talks to me and like listens to me and shit, which is like unheard of. But that leads into they want the council wants the king to get married. Because the kingdom is weak. Is viewed weak without an heir and without him having a wife.
That's just Hightower talking shit, but yeah.
That's just Hightower
He's
trying
okay.
to. No, it's his fucking. No, that's not Hightower. That's fucking Corellis and his fucking cousin.
No, he tries to do it blatantly
with his daughter.
Yeah, it all worked out in fucking Otto's favor.
In the end, yeah.
He had a sneaky
But
plan.
Corellis, but come on, Corellis was He didn't have a
hardcore
good
with
pitch.
it.
The pitch had its positives, like, oh yeah, it's pure Valerian blood, and it's a fucking strong leader of ships and everything. But then you go down to that, she's 12, and then it's like, oh, okay. And then she says, like that scene though, I loved when he's talking to her, and she's like, got the speech prepared, and Dad's looking on, like making sure she says it, and she says, I'll give you many children, and this and that, and he's like, and he rolls his eyes, and he closes his eyes, like stressed out, like, is that what your father told you to say? And what did your mother tell you? That I wouldn't have to bed you till I was 14, and that's even like 14. Like, okay, that's acceptable. Like he'll wait till you're 14, sweetie. Good God, that's shitty.
Wouldn't have to bed you. Like it's just like an act. They're just like,
yeah, it's like a duty. It's a duty.
It's a duty.
Yeah, like you get home, like, bed thyself, woman.
No.
Bed thyself, woman. And yeah, like she's like, I got to bed him
some
tonight.
Handmaid's Tale shit.
Yeah, like I got to bed him tonight. He's gonna reek of wine and
more
whores.
kings didn't get killed by fucking whores.
I'm sure a lot of them did. All them kings that you hear like randomly get poisoned over the centuries were probably by some prostitute that they knocked up or
killed her kid.
Yeah, kill her kid so there's no heir. But yeah, that was pretty weird, and it seems like Corellis really wants that spot at the table. Like he is, okay, my wife's not gonna be queen, fine. Well then my daughter damn sure is. Like, I'm getting my seat at the royal table, and it's gonna be there for life. No matter fucking what.
I don't know.
And then during that time,
I want to see Otto's downfall because
he's like the new Littlefinger, they say.
Yeah, Littlefinger, but like with just a tiny bit of Tywin maybe.
Oh yeah, just not as rich.
Yeah, or as fucking proper. You know?
He looks a little like Tywin. He's not as hard ass though. He's a little softer.
Yeah.
Like Tywin's like, my wife's dead. That's shitty. I'm pissed about it. He's more like, my wife's dead.
Well, yeah, just like when his son got his ass kicked to the justice. Sucks. You know,
yeah.
like
my kid's just fucking up my set. At least my daughter will do it. She'll do what she needs to
That'll
do.
get us into the fucking family.
Yeah, she'll get us in there. And during that little that little talk of proposals to the little girl, the Princess Rhaenys fucks up the Princess Rhaenyra with some fucking truth, dude. Like, and they kind of banter back and forth. Like, she's like, they had a chance to choose a queen and they passed it over. Like, no, they passed you over.
Yeah.
They chose me. And like, okay, good luck, sweetie.
Yeah, right.
And then she tells her, like, right there, like, do you remind your father's friends of that as you fucking pour their drinks for him and shit?
Yeah.
Like, ooh, that's a good one.
And that's exactly what happens at the end, and he's like, they're telling me I have to marry and shit.
Oh, and then, okay, so yeah, that was good. Daemon's major insult. He not only has seized Dragonstone.
Well, this is after calling. This is after calling the dead kid, fucking heir for a day.
Yeah, he called the kid heir for a day, and then he just flees to Dragonstone, takes it, and then claims that he's having a child with this gal, and steals. The major insult was stealing the egg of Balon. Balon's egg specifically. The unborn baby, or the baby that died's egg that was supposed to go in his crib. He steals that one specifically to have his true-born heir or whatever.
Is that what happens with all the dragon's eggs? That's what I wanted. Like, where's all the dragon's eggs?
Yeah, they're in the dragon keepers, them caves where all the dragons. That's why the king yells at him like, how did a dragon egg go missing under the eyes of 100 dragon keepers? And they're like, well, it wasn't just some fucking bum off the street. It was the prince, and we assumed that he was coming
allowed
in.
to come
yeah,
in.
he's allowed to come in.
He's got a dragon in there.
Yeah.
I wonder how many dragons there are in there.
I think they said at their height of their power, not Valeria, because Valeria, he said, was 100.
Yeah.
But I think they said at the height they had 10. And by their times, I think they only have the 3. Craxus.
Well, are they the only ones that can, like, spawn dragons? Because, like, obviously they
They're the only dragon riders.
Yeah, but like dragons can be born without a fucking.
Well, without the heat and the. They probably got the last few now, and that's how they you can only breed with another dragon. And it looks like only Craxus and is that the girls? One of them's name is Craxus, and the other one's name is I can't remember. I fucking wish I wrote that down. Next time I will. But it looks like those are the only two you see. So I'm wondering if them, because like we know the uncle and the little niece hook up, those are their dragons. If those are the dragons that reproduce more. Because at this point I only see two.
Fuck?
I would imagine so. Most animals do.
I mean,
the only animals that don't are what? Fucking seahorses? And like some underwater creatures. Most mammals.
But is it like chicken? Like, do they shoot out a bunch of eggs, a bunch of dragon eggs, and then
That's
only
a
the
good
fertilized ones have fucking?
I wonder
embryos
I wonder that too. That's a good question. If they're like
Also,
about 12, and then it's like, oh shit, we gotta like. That's way too many. That's like nuclear weapons, right? Because they say when Daemon steals it, he's stolen a dangerous weapon. Like, this isn't just an egg of a dragon baby. Like, this could be their equivalent of a nuclear fucking weapon capability.
Yeah.
You can't just have people running around with dragons. He's already got one he rides. You can't just let him have a whole shit ton of them.
Right.
But the king wasn't going to act until he found out it was Balon's. Then he jumped up. Like, fucking, I'll go there and fucking drag him back myself. And they don't. And then, okay, so they have their little standoff.
Yeah, Otto goes on his behalf.
Oh, yeah. And they have their little standoff, and his dragon comes out and fucking makes him hold off. But then I love that fucking coming through the clouds.
Yeah, you see it, but
looks like waves coming out of the water, you know, like and whoosh. And she fucking puts them in their place real quick.
I had a hard time looking for a Dragonstone that looked cloudy. All the pictures are like this. First of all, I found.
Is that steam, by the way? Is that like the heat from the fucking lava rock? I know, but I mean, like, is that what's? It's not real lava rock.
It's not real steam. They have to wait for a nice day on the
set of New Zealand or wherever the fuck they are.
Good break, you know, get a nice swell in, get some fog rolling.
Actually, I think it's Ireland. Most of it's Ireland, which is another awesome reason.
I saw the island, and it's weird without the castle on it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that all fake?
No, like the stairs or whatever, the little walkway kind of thing is.
Practical?
It just goes up to like some like red, you know those shingles that are like this, you know, like it's 3 or 4 buildings or something like that. White buildings with those on them. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's like probably out in like Italy or Greece or something. I don't know.
Okay, so when she shows up, she basically says, she calls it her castle for one, but then she basically calls him out, like, if you want to end this, just kill me. I'm the only one standing in your way right now.
Yeah, he's gonna, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, all right. She called my bluff.
Yeah.
And then he throws her the dragon egg. They go back.
Kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah, that was kind of anticlimactic, but it had the good tension build.
Yeah.
But then during that time, she kind of showed that she had balls, like way hard, and did what Otto couldn't do.
Way hard.
It did what
fucking she was
bigger balls than Otto, that's for sure.
She was at attention in front of him.
Yeah, she was a fucking full attention. Anyway, while she was away, the king is like sneaking off to talk to his buddies, like behind the other one's back, like, okay. I think it was Lord Strong. Yeah, Lord Lyman Strong he was talking to, and he's like, what do you think about me marrying a 12-year-old? And he's like, it's a smart match, you know? You don't want to piss off the guy that controls all your ships. And he's like, fuck that. I'm king. I'm paraphrasing, of course. The script they wrote was much better than my dialogue.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. I'm king. But that's essentially what he says. Like, who is he to tell me? And then right during that, he gets interrupted, finds out the princess is back, and he's like, back? From where? Oh, she just took off on her dragon. He fucking lays into her for a minute. Just a minute. And then he kind of just like realizes, okay, you're a lot like your mom. And that's like, it reminded him of that, and it made
He
it
tells
feel,
her that.
yeah, and about how sad it is that the castle won't be as warm and whatnot. But then, and she's happy to hear that. And then he's like, but that means you also understand that, you know, I got to do my duty, right? And she's like, of course I understand. And then we get to his choice, and they bleed it out. It's pretty obvious to anybody who's fucking got a pulse and is really paying attention to the characters,
Right.
of who he's gonna choose. But then it kind of like tries to build its tension as best as it could, with him like facing out over the ocean and like looking stressed and whatnot. And like he's like, I've decided to name, you know, a wife, take a wife, and Corellis just fucking props up like, all right. He normally like lounge back like this, like I'm sitting, like, okay, whatever, listen to this fucker talk. He's not helping me with my crab problem. Who cares?
The crab problem.
My crab
I
fever
got
problem.
crabs.
My crab's problem. But he, at that moment, he's just like, and he's kind of smiling, and then he's like, and for some reason, and if you pay attention, Allison is there.
Yeah.
She's never allowed there. Like, okay, the princess is there, but she's to be queen, and also she's the cupbearer.
Yeah.
So she has a reason.
Why
to
didn't she fucking call him?
Why was she saying like, why is
Hi,
Allison?
Allison, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know?
Why are you in here? Like, or is she just
And
so?
then the king's like, I'm gonna name the person. She go, what? No.
Yeah, and then he says, I choose the name, and he looks at his his daughter, and she looks at him like smiles and is like acknowledging, like, go ahead, Dad, because she doesn't know who it's gonna be. And he's like, he still is like, okay, here we go. And then when he starts looking over there, Allison looks right at the princess, like, sad. And then Rhaenyra doesn't look at Allison right away. She looks at her dad, sees who her dad's looking at, then looks at her and is like, oh.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think is her feeling there? Is it she hurt because, like, she kind of loves Allison? And that takes away... Like,
I feel, and I don't know why, but I just think that Allison's innocent in all of this.
Yeah.
She's sweet little...
Poor girl. She's all nervous and shit, scratching. She doesn't want
her mother, feels for the old man.
And
she just so happens to be able to become queen out of it.
Well, yeah,
I mean, she's no Cersei.
Oh, no, think about it, though. It's not vindictive, but it's not a bad idea. Yeah. You're going to get married off to probably some old guy anyway.
Yep.
And he's going to have to be wealthy, whatever. He could be a drunk,
daughter
a sleazeball, a whoremonger that, you know, that just has you have his kids and goes about his way. This king, you get to be queen. He genuinely likes you.
Yeah, it wasn't arranged like you know.
Oh, and before we went a little bit forward.
The stage for what their relationship would be.
We went a little bit forward, but in between that though, she does go and see the king one more time, and he's like, "I got to choose a queen," and she's like, "That's a smart match, you and that little girl." And then she does give him the box.
Keep saying sweet and kind.
Yeah, sweet and kind, and she gives him the box, and it's the fucking dragon that he dropped, remade, and that is so fucking thoughtful. I think that's like. He made his decision. Because it even shows before he meets with that one dude, he's like sitting there and he's like looking at the dragon. He's already made up his mind. He's just trying to go and hopefully get confirmation from one of the other lords that it's all good to like not go for the little girl. Like he's like, obviously he wants Allison. And she's like, looks stressed. The princess walks out pissed off. Do you think she was pissed off or she was like sad because her dad remarrying and having a son means she's off the obligation of being queen, and she gets to go do her little dragon ride up in the narrow sea, and her and Allison can run away. Well, now her and Allison can't run away because Allison's staying behind and popping out babies for dad. But also the thing, like I mentioned before, is it because she's getting some confidence or emotion out of the dad that she can't get. Allison's getting something she can't get.
I think it's gonna be more of a like I'm not gonna be queen thing than it's gonna be.
Oh, like so you think she got used to it? Like she got used to the idea, and then now it's like, okay, now not only gonna be queen.
Well, I don't know. It depends on when they jump.
And
they're gonna do that jump forward, and it's like maybe there was a 5-7 years, something like that, 10 years of them being under this guy. Yeah, she's the queen. She's had a few kids, like they're super young and stuff.
Yeah, he did say that. He's like, this doesn't affect you being heir. He said that like he's not going to change it, but obviously he's going to change it.
When
Because everybody in the world's going to want him to change it.
Yeah.
Everybody in the realm, right?
And that's what the other lady said, the queen never was. She was like, the realm isn't ready to have a woman.
They'd rather burn it down than let any woman do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that leads...
So that makes me wonder, maybe we're on the same page, but like, is it going to be like an ally situation with them? Or a homeboy at the end?
Yeah,
Corellis to fucking Daemon.
Has a secret meeting, and it's clearly Daemon, and then it
So
shows...
if she gets with Daemon, then...
That's
all on the same side.
Yeah, it's all one big just circle around Viserys and fucking wipe him out. And Hightower. That's Hightower. Viserys is a nice guy.
I'll still get treated fairly.
Yeah. But okay, so you got Corellis meeting with Daemon, and he's basically saying, this is your opportunity. You take out these fucking crab feeder dudes, and you will show the realm that you're the rightful king, and this little girl, this little niece of yours nonsense, or whatever your brother's trying to do, is bullshit. And he's like, and I love how Daemon is such a badass. He looks like a goof. He looks like an elf from Lord of the Rings a little bit for me. It bothers me just a little bit. As I'm rocking the same fucking hairstyle. I'm not blonde. He's such a fucking smart ass and badass. Like he's like, did you invite me to Driftstone to remind me of my lowly station? Or was there some other reason? And then later when he talks shit, kind of basically talks shit about the king, he's like, I'll speak of my brother how I wish. You will not.
Yeah. I honestly think he's going to be the best character because they already showed him, with the whoring and, what he said about the kid and all that, but also at the funeral, he went up to Rhaenyra and was like, your father needs you now more than ever.
He was genuine.
It's his brother, and that's what he tells him when they're at the council. He's like, I'm your fucking brother. He was like, why wasn't I offered to be hanged?
Yeah.
And they're like, what would happen? All this other shit.
You're a fucking
doesn't fucking matter, dude. Like, you're a Targaryen. This is our shit. Why am I not getting fucking second in line?
I'm your little brother. I don't get to be king. I should be, like, right up next to it.
Yeah.
Real quick, back rewind, if you have to put this in the back at the dragon fucking stand-up. When he calls out fucking Crispin Cole, he goes, Crispin Cole, was it? And he's like, I can't recall. He's like, well, maybe my prince recalls when I knocked him off his horse. And he goes, ha, very good. He loved it. Like, and he was quick to fucking get the prince back with like, maybe you remember when I knocked you on your ass.
Yeah.
I think Daemon is definitely going to be a majorly badass character, and he's got the most versatility so far. He's badass. He's brutal. He shows that he's kind of crazy. He's like the bipolar. He's not all the way crazy. He has really genuine, soft moments where he cares and feels. But then you have moments where he's just like sitting at the table after lynching all those people, and his brother's like basically, what the fuck? And he's like, hi, bro. All covered in soot still and blood and shit from the night before. Yes. And he's like, I was like, yes, he's
like, hopefully you don't have to make
my whole
city,
yeah.
my city to do it. He's like,
time will tell.
We'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, can't wait. Oh, and then it led into one little thing about the crab feeder, one more crab torture. It ended with the crab torture too. And was talking about it. And it showed that is that the crab feeder?
I assumed.
What the fuck is with his face?
I don't know. He's like a fucking golem.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Anyway, that is all for episode 2 of The North Remembers, and we will see you next week or next time